guys, it's Josh from Forward Ag, and it's June 11th. We're just swinging on down through in here to the yard, all the way to the back. We're gonna head to the bins. We went into the co-op, and they generously loaned us 20 tons of fert, and we purchased 21 tons ourselves. We're gonna have to go ahead and pay them back probably at the beginning of next year, but that's a-okay. We are not running anhydrous for this last field, so we just, we needed to run and grab some fert. We did not have any. We have plenty of seed, but no fert. And it was nice because this was our last ride in the Kenworth here, along with the other Kenworth that we have down with the 50-footer on the field there. We decided to trade them in. It's just time, you know. I talked about it in the last video, but they're just both so darn long, and their turning radius is ridiculous. It's like turning a darn train, and we already had a train. We had the C850 and the anhydrous caddy. That's a train enough. I don't really want another one, so just to reduce the struggle, we're upgrading to a couple of newer Kenworths, the Eaton 13s, I believe they are there. Just some sleeper cabs. We got one in plum and one in white, both with bull bars. Alcoas all around. One we got with the super singles, and the other one with the dual tires. I really want to see the difference in traction and compaction. I really want to see how that goes there. But either way, I think it'll just be nice to have something a little newer on the yard. You know, the C850 was great to have around, but we did plug the 1050 back up to the 3320 Bourgeois and the 7950 cart. We took the duals off the 7950 after running the John Deere without duals on the front. We still have them on the back, but we took them off the front. After running them singles on the front, we didn't really see the need to have them on the 7950 either, because they're, you know, only 100 bushel off. They're not much different at all. So, you know, to have less compaction going on without the, you know, the need for weight distribution, because, like, again, it's not. I can't line this up for crap here. It's not far off. We just didn't feel the need, and I think it might help things with turning. You know, turning the 7950 and the 3320 with the triples on the Fent can already be a pain in the butt enough, so I just think it'll help. I think it'd be pretty neat. It'd be nice to switch it up anyway. I'm a little salty that I had to bring the other Westfield over here, just because I had the backhoes in the Westfield set up to where I could simply just drive on over them with the Load King, and that's that. I can unload both trailers at the same darn time. They were perfectly set up to do so. I'm gonna have to do that all over again, but I just want to get the fert in this last Meridian bin here. This is actually the first time we're setting up the Meridian bin, so that's pretty darn exciting. You know, what else is going on? We still have the C850 and Dan's 9RX. Those are still hanging out. Dan's not sure when he can come pick up the 9RX, because he's actually getting a whole new yard set up down in Moore. And, you know, on that note, he's asked me if I wanted to come help out and be a part of, you know, what he's got going on there. And since we're both Forward Ag guys, I feel like that would be pretty awesome. It'd be pretty awesome to have a joint farm with Dan. I would still run all of my own equipment, and he would still run all of his, so I would have my Bourgeois set up. He actually switched over to using all John Deere, so we'll have a little bit different of setups there, and, you know, he'll be able to cover a whole lot more acreage than I can, and we'll probably have some of our own fields and our own bins and stuff like that. But I think it'd be pretty neat to finally jump into a joint venture furthermore than Forward Ag. You know, we can manufacture stuff all day, but farming's the life, and being able to do it with your best friends, that's just beyond cool, you know. So I think I'm gonna look into potentially leaving this yard here over to the fam. You know, they'll be able to take care of everything going on here, and maybe just heading on out that way. You know, why am I backing up here? I'm not sure what we'll bring. I definitely think I'll bring the 9240, of course the new trucks, the Load King. I may leave them the old 4440s, of course. They're gonna, you know, keep all the bins and all that. The sprayer they'll probably keep, but you know, we're gonna have to discuss that later on. That's gonna be for something later on. But just know it's potentially in the future that we might be moving out to County Line more. I think it'd be pretty neat. Alright, now that that's all loaded up into the bin there, we are going to run over, probably going to pull up next to the C850 and unload these trailers, simply because we have the two trucks there. Look at that dang thing. Look at that Kenworth they have. That has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 axles on the darn thing. That is just massive. Absolutely massive truck, but hey, that's how you gotta haul massive trucks, right? You need a massive truck to carry two other massive trucks, I suppose. But we're just gonna detach everything here and probably pull this over on straight, because he's gonna wanna. I'm not really sure what he's gonna want to do, to be honest, because this truck is a few extra foot longer than the 13s, so is the other Kenworth. Boy, I'm not sure what he's gonna do. Well, I guess we'll get it figured out. I'm gonna go ahead and hop in the 1050 and head down to the bins and get that all sorted out. Alright, we got a whole lot of moving stuff around here. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and sneak through here. You know, I can't lie, I think I like the 7950 with just duals on the rear. It looks pretty darn neat. But that's probably after running the C850 for so darn long. But yeah, see, you know, just turning seems a whole lot easier to me. I'm not sure how to... Dang, triples getting in my way. I'm not sure how I can explain it, but I like it. I think it's set up nice. I did also just realize that I pulled around to the wrong side. The auger is on the right side. Boy, I'm doing good today. We've got this. And the 4440 just decided to shut off. Alright. Wow. What a way to start the day, huh? I also think we're going to get rid of that Brent there and maybe do a little upgrade. I'm thinking like a 2000. I'm not sure about the 2596 just yet. I don't think with the acreage we have here that we'll need it. We might need it in more, so who knows? Maybe it'll be something that we pre-prep for when we go to more, you know? That might be it. Let's see here. Bring this on over to the auger, move this guy on out, and then we're gonna just wheel over the Brant auger underneath and get it all filled on up. You know, I could have filled it up from the truck itself, but honestly, at the time, I just wanted to get the bins loaded up and get them situated. May as well load it up into the bins first. I guess there's really no rhyme or reason to that. I think I'm gonna leave this hooked up here. I don't think there's really a rhyme or reason to it. I just felt like doing it. Let's go ahead and wheel over the Brant. Let's see here. Get this up under that bin there. This thing is slower than all heck. Alright, we're just gonna back this on up here. Try and get between the bars of the bin. And kind of just right along the edge there. Probably keep this on the lower side. Go forward. Preload with Fert. We're gonna go ahead and run over to the 1050 and let's try and spin this thing all the way back around here. At least the field that we have to seed is pretty darn close. It's just right there, you know, it's our first ever field. Still on the smaller side, but you know, it won't take us long whatsoever. Now I'm gonna have to go ahead and guesstimate. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and unload the auger and see how far out that thing goes. Yeah. You know what? I think if I just back this on up just a little, yes, and I said that, back this on up. Let's see here. There we go. Yep, it's a wild idea, I know. Backing a train like this up, even though this ain't even close to what we had going on. Let's see if we got this about right. Looks like if I just pull forward just a hair, I really don't want to move with the auger on the ground, but you have to do what you have to do when you're farming solo, you know? Let me see. I wonder if I can get this to go underneath this a little bit, maybe just back it up. Actually, what if I just lift it up? Hey, there you go. Just lift it on up, and that way we can load up the cart. Let's hop up here. Oop, oop, oop. There we go. See what's going on. There we go. I don't know if that's completely full. We're gonna jump on down. Yeah, see, we were way too, There we go. Look at that. That worked out just great. I think that's completely full, though. Let's hop up here and check it out. Yep, we're full. So we're gonna go ahead and shut off the auger. We're gonna leave the Brent there. Oh, I hope we didn't scratch that. Let's go ahead and jump in here. Load this guy back on up. Make sure it's on wheat, thanks to last time. I know that was honestly hilarious that I seeded a couple acres of barley before anything, but it happens, you know. Sometimes you're just really sleepy and you're seeding, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. But we're gonna run over through the yard and head over to our first field there and get started on some wheat. What in the world is that thing? I couldn't even tell you. I have no idea what that is. Looks weird. Alright, let's go ahead and drop the wings on the 3320 here and see what's cooking. There we go. I'm gonna let those undo. Thankfully they go pretty darn fast, I can't lie. How many towers do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here. Sheesh. Forgot how many towers this thing has. Quite a few. Oh my gosh. Everything looks good back here. Let's see here. Mid-row banders are looking good, looking good. Looking good. What the heck is that? Oh, nope, we'll be alright. Alright. I think let's just go ahead and bring this on over here. Let's see here. We're just gonna drop this down on in. Oh, it would probably work if I was on the right implement, huh? Let's see what we're working with here. There we go. Now we're on the right implement. Would you look at that? Let's go ahead and get to seeding. And that's working perfectly just there. I don't, for whatever reason, have GPS installed in here. So we're kind of just riding it out on our own. Somebody asked me why I always used courseplay, the digital setup. Just because it's a little more accurate and it's a little more hands-free, you know. But I guess for a little while here, we'll go ahead and run everything on our own. It's pretty different, I will say. It's been quite a while since I've done it like this. Personally, I usually I watch the outermost left wing wheel there and kind of just follow along the field with that, and it typically works out pretty darn good. But we're just gonna jump into some seeding here and let's make a little montage of it, why don't we? You know, the more and more that we work with the 1050, the more I wonder about the wingspan of those triples. But pulling this setup in this soil without those triples seems like it would be an awful time. We've done we've gotten stuck a couple times. It was a little rough. So, well, I'm thinking about looking at that 9RT that we talked about a few videos ago. I think a shorter wingspan and a little bit stronger of an engine would do us some good. Maybe we can go ahead and throw the 1050 on the Pro Till, make it be Pro Till specific, you know. Or we could get a wheeled sprayer. We can get a tow behind sprayer, do something like that. We have the 4440 already, which covers a lot of ground, but you know, just give the give the 1050 something to do, because look at how we're gonna go ahead and turn to the right. Look at how darn close. Gosh, it gets so darn close to everything. And I feel like that can cause us some issues in the future, especially if we go forth with, you know, the KC6000 and how long that's going to be, and how much weight we're going to be pulling. And I don't know. I just don't know if the 1050 is going to be able to handle everything in the future. I think it might have to be one of those background tractors that does the side jobs for us. We'll see. I guess we'll have to look and see. I'm really digging the sun going on here. This is midday sun, really bright in the background, but on the landscape here, everything is looking really darn good, except for this lime. The lime making everything extremely bright white. It's like reflecting off the sun like crazy. Jeez. Like I said, guys, this field is so darn small that we really, you know, this is only going to take us maybe 15-20 more minutes, if that, and then we'll be all good, all set, seeding will be all done, and then we just head out with some sprayers and then wait for harvest. Dan is going to come visit. I spoke with him the other day, and I guess he's actually going to totally split my mind earlier, but he's going to come visit and help us out with some spraying. He wants to run the 4440. Pardon me. He wants to run the 4440 on his farm, so he's gonna take a look-see at ours and see how much he likes it, and then he can also pick up his 9RX, or else I'm gonna take this thing and swap it out for that again. But no, we put enough hours on that thing. You may have noticed, but I decided to do headlands last for this this field here. So what I'm looking at is the first field we did headlands first and anhydrous. The second field, that field back there, we did headlands last with anhydrous, and then this field here we are doing no anhydrous. We're just using solid fert, and then we're doing headlands first. Just a little experiment to kind of check out yield, see what the outcome and output of everything is, and just for some fun, really. You know, I'm not really all into anhydrous. I just really enjoy making the equipment, so liquid fertilizer will probably be our go-to in the future once we get the 6000 all finished up. I was actually just working on a little bit of a side project for the 6000, something that I'm going to try and include as soon as I can, once it's all finished. Thanks to Paint a Farm Modding, he really knocked it out of the park with the track situation going on in the FS community lately, and I really can't wait to get our own out there. I will say they are they're very universal. They're for implements only, I would say. So they'll go on all of our liquid caddies and all of our anhydrous caddies. They can be resized. They can have the wheels swapped in and out. Right now it has 4 smaller diameter wheels and 3 larger diameter wheels, with the middle wheel being about a medium, I guess you could say about a medium size. We have about 10 inches, 14 inches, and 28-inch wheels, all connected by a 3-piece manifold. And then of course it has the drive shaft in the center that connects to the hubs, and we have the stabilizing arms coming off of the rear, and everything is kind of just going to oscillate on its own. but they're flat top tracks, so they're reminiscent of the Susi. Oh gosh, what are they? The ST032s. These are going to be 36 inches wide. A different, little bit different of a setup all around, but very reminiscent of some of my favorite tracks that I've ever seen, and I just kind of wanted to make something of our own. So hopefully you all enjoy that pretty darn soon here. Um, I might honestly release them just as their own and let y'all kind of, use them for whatever you'd like. You can toss them on sprayers, you can toss them on your grain carts, you can toss them on your own liquid caddies, you could toss them on, geez, you could probably put them on one of these things. Throw it on a 7950 or the 71 300. Really, you can use them with whatever you'd like, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and make that possible for everybody. Um, Custom modding already has a ton of tracks that are going to be put out there, so the FS community is going to be just riddled with new tracks and a bunch of new track systems. So I think it'll be pretty darn cool. I know it's kind of a long shot, but I'm really, really hoping we can release the KC6000 this month. I know that only gives us about 19 days or so to make it happen, but it's only been about a month, and I would say we are about 90% of the way done with the modeling situation. A few more odds and ends to go, hoses, connections, things like that. And then there's getting the textures of the frame and everything like that all sorted out, which will probably honestly be the hardest part of everything, because there are a lot of small parts, and making that all look good can be extremely difficult sometimes. So we'll put a lot of work into that to make it look as good as possible. That's one thing I really lacked on when it came to the 7500 is texturing. It just really wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but little did I know. I didn't know a whole lot back then, and now I do, and now I know how to sort everything out, and I'm just really hoping it will look darn good. The KC6000 will have gauges. It will have several gauges, probably one for each hose line that is going on. And I would like to, I'm trying to think, I would like to probably have them show the fill level of the tanks. So, if you're running HUDless, you can kind of take a look-see back and see where the gauges are at, because the pressure will decrease as the capacity decreases, showing that there is pressure being released. I'm kind of thinking that's how it's gonna roll. I think it'd be pretty darn cool. But like I said, it will have tracks, it will have several dual options, it'll have several single wheel options. I know some folks just like to run singles, especially for transport. It makes everything a whole lot easier. I sent the 7500 to Argsy and FSG with some new singles, because they have a bunch of sheds on their West Texas series that they have going on, and it just seems like some of the maneuvering can be a pain in the butt. And it's not just them, it's myself. I had some issues maneuvering it into our shed over there, so watching their series, I noticed how difficult and annoying it can be sometimes, and I just kind of hope it helped out a bit. That series, if you haven't checked it out yet, they're doing a crazy good job with that. Their communication is off the charts. The way they handle thing is off the charts. They're just doing an absolutely fantastic job. That farm is going to grow really, really darn huge, and I can't wait to see it progress. I'm excited. Alright, we're just winging up here, and we're going to head on back to the yard. Let's see here, we used just near 220 bushel or so, 213 roughly. So not even half of the cart. That's awesome. But we're just about finished up here. I think we're probably gonna go ahead and I don't think I want to leave all this in the cart for too long, so we'll probably go ahead and empty the cart into the Meridian bins, get everything stored away for the winter, because that is coming up pretty darn soon. We'll probably run some herbicide, pesticide, and all that all over the fields within the next week or so. That way everything is ready for harvest when springtime rolls around, I think we're just gonna bring it around here. I'm probably going to leave this over by the workshop just so we can repair everything and throw some def in there and all that jazz. Make sure it's all good. I think we're just going to bring this over to the workshop here. That way we can throw some def in the 1050 and do a little bit of repairs, maintenance, and all that fun stuff on the cart and the drill before we, oh, and wash them down. I did learn a good lesson from RGZ and FSG to always wash your equipment. The C850 is still way too dirty, and before we send that out, I'm going to wash it down too. But we'll get some repairs and maintenance done on these things and make sure it's all good. Oh yeah, here are the trucks. We have the plum, and then we have the white. Like I said, set up pretty darn similar, but we have the super singles and then the duals. Bull guards are the same. Everything's pretty darn similar. I just think they're a little bit more slick, a little bit more, I don't know, a little new age, something easier to run. We have the beacons on top. Let's hop in here. I'm really liking this truck. I think I might. Oh, we have a rear view. Oh, love that. I love that. We have the rear view going on. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and run the plum one myself. Let's get it started up. Let's bring it over to the Load King. Why not? Let's see here. Listen to that baby purr. That sounds beautiful. Let's check. Who left the lights on to the Load King? Wasn't me. Beacon's working fantastic. Turn signals. Looking good. Let's go ahead and load it up. Well, the Load King. Lock that into place. Pop the hoses on. Let's go ahead and take a look-see at this setup here. Look at that. That looks fantastic all together there. Let's see here. I think I'm going to go ahead and open the tarps on these because I'm probably going to give it all a wash down. Just in case. Why not, right? We'll bring the Load King on around and get it all ready for a wash. Let's see right about here. And then I'll probably shut that down and we'll toss the white one on the 50-footer. Let's make sure everything works. Beacons work good. Signals. Good stuff. These super singles look wild. I don't think I've ever used some super singles on a truck. It's pretty darn neat. They look really good. I'm not gonna lie. They look really good. Let's line this up here. Be a little slower than last time. Lock that into place. And pop the hoses on. Make sure our drop axle works good. And we're going to open up the tarp. We still have some seed in here. I'm probably going to pull this over to the Load King anyhow. And just get it situated for the evening. We definitely want to dump the seed out before we wash the bins on out of it, so we will get that situated. It's crazy that this 50-foot trailer is just about as long as the Load King. Look at that. That's a Super V. Jeez. I'm gonna throw the tarp on just because we have the seat in there. Look at that. That is such a nice setup. Two brand new trucks. I think with the trade-in, I think we're looking at about $100,000 payoff after everything, but you know what? I think it's going to be worth it. Those look slick. That's going to be sweet to run next year. I can't wait. Probably one last thing. I'm going to go ahead and check if the 4440 has a full tank or not. It does, just about. Probably going to get this situated, move everything on over. Let's run over to the tanks and top it on off. We're going to go ahead and top this on off, and I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. This video was honestly really stressful to make, I can't lie. We ran into a bunch of issues starting it up and getting everything situated, so I apologize for it being a little late, but I appreciate you being here anyway. It means a lot, and I'll go ahead and see y'all next time. Take it easy, be safe.